There is a place beneath Vatican City where silence was enforced by design. Not because the truth was unknown, but because it was too dangerous to speak. During World War II, letters arrived at the Vatican describing mass murder, eyewitness accounts, exact numbers, names of places where people were being erased. And yet, the Pope said nothing. So, the question is not what was hidden inside the Vatican Archives. The question is why it stayed hidden for nearly 80 years. During World War II, Pope Pius XII stood at the spiritual center of the Catholic world. A man trained as a diplomat, fluent in German, former Vatican ambassador to Germany, and a pope who ruled during humanity's darkest hour. Under Vatican law, papal documents remain sealed for decades after a pope's death. Officially, this protects historical context. Unofficially, it controls the narrative. For Pius XII, that meant his entire wartime correspondence. Letters from bishops, diplomats, resistance priests, all locked away in what was once called the Vatican Secret Archives. Historians were told to wait until 2028, but the pressure never stopped. When the archives were finally opened in 2020, what researchers found was chilling. By September 1942, reports reached the Vatican describing the mass slaughter of Jews in Nazi-occupied Poland. One letter from the Archbishop of Lviv spoke of incredible butchery inside Jewish ghettos. Another message from Warsaw detailed entire communities being wiped out. These weren't rumors. They were first-hand accounts. Even more disturbing, when Allied diplomats asked the Vatican to confirm these reports, the official response was, "We do not have information that confirms this serious news in detail." But inside the archives, those details already existed. This contradiction sat buried in Vatican vaults for decades. Then came the letter that changed everything. In December 1942, a German Jesuit priest secretly informed the Vatican that 6,000 Jews and Poles were being killed every single day at the Belzec extermination camp. Burned, systematically erased, the letter made its way directly into Vatican hands. And still, there was no public condemnation. No names are spoken. No direct mention of Jews in papal wartime speeches. For critics, this confirmed the worst suspicion, that Pope Pius XII knew, and chose silence. For defenders, it raised a darker possibility, that speaking might have made the slaughter worse. Among the most explosive discoveries was an internal Vatican memo from 1942. A senior aide warned the Pope not to trust reports of genocide, claiming Jews exaggerated and Eastern witnesses were unreliable. The memo was never included in the Vatican's official World War II document releases. Historians later called it a key document deliberately kept hidden. Why? Because it suggested that prejudice inside the Vatican itself influenced the Pope's hesitation. This single memo reframed decades of debate. Silence wasn't just political. It may have been psychological. Then came the revelation no one expected. Newly uncovered files confirmed that Pope Pius XII secretly communicated with Adolf Hitler at the dawn of World War II. Not publicly, not through official channels, but through a Nazi prince acting as a clandestine messenger. Meetings took place. Conversations were transcribed in secret. The Vatican's priority wasn't alliance. It was survival. The Pope sought to protect Catholic institutions inside Nazi territory. Hitler sought moral silence. These negotiations were never mentioned in the Church's official wartime records. Until now. So why keep all this hidden? Because each document threatened a different pillar of the Church: moral authority, diplomatic neutrality. The legacy of a pope now considered for sainthood, releasing him too early could have fractured Catholic-Jewish relations, or recast Pius XII as either a tragic protector or a failed moral voice. Instead, the Vatican chose time and silence. Now that the archives are open, history has shifted. Some letters show quiet rescue efforts. Monasteries hiding Jews. Orders given in whispers, not sermons. Others confirm devastating restraint. Pius XII now stands not as a hero or villain, but as a man navigating terror, power, and consequence. And the Church faces a harder truth. Loving history means accepting it, even when it wounds. If you want a deeper breakdown of the most shocking documents uncovered so far, including the exact letters historians argue over today, watch the full analysis linked in the description. This story doesn't end here. So, here's the question historians still can't answer. Was Pope Pius XII's silence a moral failure, or the only way to save lives in a world ruled by terror? Tell me what you think, because some secrets, once unlocked, don't give us closure, they give us responsibility.